We are back with our Today Food Series Restaurant Restart, and this morning a look at what's next for restaurants hit hard by the pandemic.
Yeah, more than 110,000 restaurants across this country have permanently closed in the last year. That's according to the National Restaurant Association. And thousands continue to be at risk of closing.
Chanel is joining us now with more hopeful and happy story. Yeah.
You know what? It will be uplifting, I hope. Good morning to you. When a restaurant has deep roots in a city, staying in business is often essential to a thriving neighborhood. In many ways, these establishments are the fabric and backbone of the community. Keeping the doors open is a sign of hope. And I met two restaurant owners fighting for their futures. Daddy D'z BBQ Joynt is an institution. One of Atlanta's most well-known and popular spots for ribs.
Daddy D'z has been here for 30 years. I've had people come in and say, I had my first date here, or my parents brought me here after my high school graduation, or I've been eating here since I was 2 years old.
Chris Jackson saved the restaurant.
Hey Tony, how long on the ribs?
Buying the barbecue joint from the original owner just 3 years ago. More than a business decision, this was deeply personal. It was the first place Jackson tried barbecue in the city when she moved here almost 30 years ago.
When I bought Daddy D'z, I had gone through breast cancer, and I had gotten laid off from my job on the day that I had my mastectomy. Didn't know what I was going to do, and I found out it was for sale, and, you know, family helped make it possible.
Cancer-free and a single mom of three, she pours her heart and soul into the place, doing things the old-fashioned way, 100% homemade with an authentic pit out back.
If I were to walk into Daddy D'z, how would you describe the vibe or the mood of the place?
It was a shabby shack. So when you walk in, that's the first vibe you get. And I've been trying to fix it up to make it shacky chic.
Those plans were put on hold when the pandemic hit.
Business trickled to a crawl, and then all of a sudden I just saw the meat prices were going haywire. Paper goods shot through the roof. I had to make masks for my employees because I couldn't find them.
Was there ever a time when you thought it may not work to keep this open?
There were several nights that I went home and cried. Several nights. When you put everything you have into something and you don't have another avenue, and you're a single mom, you have to worry about how are you going to feed your kids?
She's not alone. Many restaurant owners across the country are struggling to pay the bills, and they offer much more than a menu to the neighborhood. They are community builders, like the FourWay in Memphis. A local establishment serving soul food for 75 years. Why do you think it has been able to stand the test of time?
Our backbone happens to be the loyal local community here, and it's because of them that we are who we are and why we still exist.
Patrice Bates Thompson and her family have run the restaurant since her father purchased it from the original owners more than 20 years ago.
He actually grew up in this immediate neighborhood. He watched them knock down buildings that he was used to seeing as a child. So it was just important that he continued to have a part of the rich history in this neighborhood.
That rich history extends back to the Civil Rights era, when activists gathered at the FourWay, including Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Reverend Jesse Jackson. Today, the iconic restaurant is fighting to keep its history alive.
It's just important for me to continue the legacy and keep the history going and see the community thrive again.
I don't think it's ever good to watch iconic, historic restaurants or any other business to close. The mom and pops have always been the backbone of this country.
That's true all over the country. Both restaurant owners are with us now. Chris Jackson from Daddy D'z BBQ in Atlanta, along with her beautiful children. And from Memphis, at the FourWay, Patrice Bates Thompson and her husband and daughter. Good morning to all of you.
Morning, guys.
Good morning, Chris. Let me see you and your beautiful kiddos. Chris, first of all, we want the ribs. We want you to send us ribs to Studio One. They look delicious.
Come on and get them. We got them.
All right.
Or that. Feel
Now, we know that you guys are not open for indoor dining, just outdoor dining. So how is business going?
We're making it. You know, we're just trying to keep the doors open as much as possible, hoping that we'll soon be able to go back to indoor. I don't feel like it's safe enough, but you know, it's one day at a time.
And Patrice, the FourWay over there in Memphis, you guys have been around for over 70 years. What's your biggest challenge today?
The same. We're trying to stay safe, and the biggest challenge is staff.
Yeah.
Getting good staff to work for us.
Well, listen, we know how important your restaurants are to your local and your loyal customers and your communities, and how crucial it is to keep your doors open. So we have something to share with both of you this morning. You guys can hear me, right? Loud and clear? Our sponsor, American Express.
Yes, okay.
All right, well, is working with the National Trust for Historic Preservation to give each of you a $40,000 grant as part of their backing small business program to help keep your business open. I'm having chills while I'm saying this because I know how badly you guys need this. And they want you to take that $40,000 and serve your community. My heart is like,
Now you got us all in tears. Chris, I hope you know.
Such an ugly crier.
You're beautiful. Chris, it's $40,000 and it's a grant, not a loan.
Yes.
Okay? You don't have to pay it back. It's for you.
That is so... Thank you, Jesus. That is so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's amazing.
love you guys. Can I tell you guys, when I was interviewing you guys,
Nancy, if you're watching,
yay, I was interviewing them, and I knew who was coming, and they were both just, so passionate and just wanting to stay in their communities and so loyal. And so I'm just so thankful that, American Express was able to do this for you guys. So deserved.
Patrice, how's this going to help your family business not just survive, but thrive for years to come there in Memphis? What's this going to mean?
It's going to help us a lot. We have a lot of plans, and I continue to plan despite the pandemic, but it will help us bring some of those plans to fruition.
Don't take any of those legendary desserts off your menu, Patrice. We know about them. Keep those on.
Chris, Patrice, thank you guys. We wish you so much
We're working on shipping, and I hope to ship you some soon.
Please do.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, I hope this has also been a good advertisement. If you live in Atlanta or Memphis, now you know where to get some really good eats.
You guys, thank you so much. That was beautiful, beautiful. Coming up next, kids, award